Happening this hour on Mornings on 12, spiking coronavirus cases force more schools to go remote, and the CDC has new guidelines regarding the vaccines. We are on team coverage with the latest on the efforts to stop the spread.
Plus, confusion outside of Radio City Music Hall as the cultural institution reverses course, instituting a child vaccine requirement earlier than reported. We hear from parents on what they had to say.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us here on News of the Bronx. It is Friday, December 17th. That's right. I'm Aisha McKenzie.
And I'm Katie Lasso. We're going to get to all of your top stories and more in just a minute. But first, we are on Storm Watch. Dun, 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 dun.
So we're checking in with meteorologist Mike Rizzo for a look at Saturday. Not today. Today's not messed up.
No. And like Katie's got that Friday dance going.
Yeah, she's having a lot of energy. I'm feeding off of y'all this morning.
Do it. Yeah.
Dancing so hard.
Wow, that's noise right there. Good morning, everyone. Today we have a quiet day. It's going to be much cooler, gusty, and rainy tomorrow, though. So keep in mind that the rain is on the way as we head toward the weekend. So look at this. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning in the Bronx, you're going to see some steady rain between 8 and 11 a.m. After 11 a.m., it starts to taper out to more of a drizzle, but a weird, unsettled mix throughout the midday. The rain redevelops as we turn the corner into the evening. Shortly after 6 or 7 o'clock, we're going to see steady rain, from 8 to 11 again toward the evening. So it's really not that big of a deal of a system. It's just really messy and unsettled. One could say that Saturday is a washout because of the amount of liquid that we're going to see throughout the day. So not really an outdoor day for Saturday. Today is the outdoor day. We have a front off to our south that's bringing us a warmer surge of air. So keep in mind, it's going to be really nice today. Southwest wind to introduce us. But tomorrow we have this wind. This is an east wind, and it feels super clammy and kind of gross throughout the entire day. So looking ahead, unsettled Saturday, 2 rainy rounds, and a chilly Sunday follows the rain tomorrow.
Mike, thank you for those details in the Weather Center there. Well, city officials are sounding the alarm as the cases of coronavirus are on the rise.
And this morning, we have team coverage of the pandemic and the city's efforts to stop the spread. We want to start, though, with News 12's Cecilia Hua with how this surge is affecting our schools.
Good morning. With new COVID cases rising daily, a few schools like PS 18 behind me are now facing a 10-day closure. According to data from the Department of Education, there were a total of 592 new COVID cases in our schools just yesterday. 371 of those were students. Parents of students here at PS 18 were notified of the 10-day closure just yesterday, and that's the third school across the city currently shut down. The Bronx Center for Science and Mathematics was closed last week, and they are set to scheduled to return to the classroom on Monday. Across the city, there were more than 3,600 new COVID cases with 142 new hospitalizations just yesterday. Now, Mayor de Blasio and the city's health officials are strongly urging people to get vaccinated to fight this surge, especially ahead of the holidays. In the Bronx, the neighborhoods with the highest positivity rates are Throgs Neck and Country Club, while in Brooklyn, it's Garrison Beach, Homecrest, and Sheepshead Bay. That's where we find News 12 Jericho Tran, who has the latest on the city's efforts to stop the spread. Jericho.
Well, with an increase in cases over the last 7 days, health and city officials are implementing a new strategy to combat that trend. Now, this is all as the CDC recommended just hours ago that people should take the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines over the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Now, this recommendation comes after new data shows the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could cause blood clotting. The CDC found 54 cases of thrombosis since the Johnson & Johnson vaccine started being used. 9 of those people died. Now, while the overall risk of developing the condition is less than 4 per 1 million doses given, the panel says the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines should be the first choice. City officials, though, insist any COVID vaccine is better than none. Mayor de Blasio announced a 6-point action plan to stop the spread of COVID-19, including issuing a health advisory, increasing testing capacity, giving out free KN95 masks, distributing rapid at-home tests, starting a media campaign to get New Yorkers to sign up for the booster, and doubling down on city inspections to ensure mandates are being followed.
I have a lot of faith in the people of this city. I also have a lot of faith in our healthcare leadership. They've made the right calls throughout this whole pandemic, and they right now are putting together these plans I've talked about to aggressively take new steps to fight back.
Now, health and city officials are saying that all 5 boroughs are seeing high transmission rates, and they only expect to see those numbers go up as people gather for the holidays. In Sheepshead Bay, Jericho Tran, News 12.
All right, Jericho, thank you. Well, in Manhattan now, confusion and frustration outside Radio City Music Hall after parents found themselves turned away from the Christmas spectacular due to new vaccine requirements. Radio City Music Hall is now enforcing the city's upcoming indoor vaccine requirement for kids ages 5 to 11. This causing confusion for many because originally the venue said it would not enforce the rule until the 27th. However, hours before the show, Radio City updated its site requiring proof of at least one shot.
I'm mad because it's like, okay, you got to find things for the kids to do. The kids are out of school for the next 2 weeks, depending on where they go to school at. This is so unfair.
Well, Radio City apologized to anyone impacted. They also announced that starting today, they'll be hosting a mobile vaccination clinic for kids 5 to 11 outside the hall.
Well, the latest spike in COVID cases also impacting several Broadway shows. Last night, performances of Moulin Rouge were canceled. Some on Twitter saying that happened after the audience was already seated. An announcement on this weekend's shows is expected by this afternoon. Now, performances of Mrs. Doubtfire are already canceled through Sunday, and last night's showing of Tina the Tina Turner musical also had its curtains closed. However, performances of that show are expected to resume today.
And public advocate Jumaane Williams announcing on Twitter last night that he has tested positive for COVID-19. Williams, who is fully vaccinated and has the booster shot, said he has mild symptoms and is self-isolating in his home away from his pregnant wife, who has tested negative. In his post, the Democratic candidate for governor urged the state to take additional restrictive measures as the Omicron threat continues, and he called for expanded testing and a switch to remote work wherever possible.
Well, as cases rise and the holidays approach today, we're looking at the mental health issues related to the pandemic. On our show, The New Normal, this morning, we will be taking your questions live on air with Eden Hanna, a clinical social worker, and Dr. Jared Schurz, a clinical psychologist. The New Normal airs live at 9 a.m. and if you miss it, you can catch it again at 4:30 this afternoon.
And getting to the season of shortages, it continues to grow in our community. One local Bronx business says in their 45 years, they've never had this kind of trouble keeping their shelves stocked. Original Botanica sells thousands of items from candles to statues related to religion and spirituality. Owner Jason Mizrahi says since the pandemic hit, they've been having trouble importing supplies from overseas and even sourcing products locally.
Like the sage, somebody has to cut it, somebody has to dry it, somebody has to tie it into a bundle, somebody has to put it into a box. So all of those things kind of add up. Like the person that handles that maybe maybe he has half the staff that he used to have at that time. So all of those little tiny things kind of add up and snowballed into this huge supply chain snag.
And Original Botanica is open Monday through Sunday, and products are also available online as well.
Well, Mayor-elect Eric Adams has chosen the next Corrections Commissioner, Louis Molina, a son of the Bronx and former first Deputy Commissioner for Westchester County's Department of Correction. He is the current Las Vegas police chief. Molina will be tasked with fixing the troubled Rikers Island jail facility.
We've done too many quick fly-by-night solutions to get things done. And that's not how I'm going to operate. It's going to be in consultation with my leadership team in order to address these issues.
And Molina says he promises to connect with unions, taking a different tone than the de Blasio administration. In a statement, the Correction Officer Benevolent Association told us in part, quote, "We are hopeful that incoming Commissioner Louis Molina shares those same goals. We welcome him to our agency and we look forward to working with him," end quote.
And happening today, the city schools chancellor Misha Ross Porter will be stopping here in our borough as she says goodbye to students and teachers before she leaves her post. She'll be at Grant Elementary this morning for an identity inclusion program with third graders.
Well, a nonprofit organization that works to get guns off the street in the Bronx is shifting their efforts for the day to give back in another way. Save Our Streets holding a Winter Wonderland extravaganza yesterday at their offices in Morrisania. Kids from all over the neighborhood got to take pictures with Santa and get into the holiday spirit just in time for Christmas, which is just a few days away.
Ooh.
SOS has been here for over a decade, making a dent into the community and preventing violence and interrupting violence. We are now expanding into a justice center that's going to be providing programming, paid opportunities for our youth. So we're really excited to find not just a new home for SOS, but to expand all of our services across the borough.
They had nice weather for it. Those in attendance also moving and grooving to some holiday tunes and got to enjoy some tasty holiday-themed treats.
I love to see it. So if you are planning something for this weekend, though, with it being holiday-related, you might want to do it indoors on Saturday or wait till Sunday, right, Mike?
Yeah, definitely. Saturday's going to be a very messy day. Today's a good day, but Sunday's windy and cold, but sunny, so it's going to be an interesting weekend here. A look outside right now, you'll be surprised at how warm it is here in the Bronx. We have about 62 degrees in our borough, but for today, we're looking at 61 for an afternoon high, so it's very mild this morning. So afternoon conditions very similar to where we're at this morning. I mean, look at these numbers. This is insane. 65 degrees in Parkchester, 65 in Morrisania, 66 in Riverdale. This is right now. It is mild outside, if not downright warm in the region. So with that being said, all thanks to that southwest wind down, up to about 15 miles per hour. It's a little breezy outside, but it's certainly warm, no doubt. And that mild air is going to be with us here all morning long into the afternoon, into the evening. And we do start to see that warm front push away tomorrow as rain arrives to the area. So once that rain comes through, we're really going to start seeing those temperatures dip down and things start to change as we turn the corner into Sunday. For today, sunshine mixed with temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s for this afternoon.